So I want to talk to you about why he sang the song Alphabet Street. I don't know if you're familiar, but here in the middle, in this black part, it says, sorry, don't buy the Black Album. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is why he sang the lyrics, I'm going down to Tennessee.
I'm gonna drive my daddy's Thunderbird. I'm gonna put her in the backseat and drive her to Tennessee. Tennessee. Drive her.
Some people may not find gematria as interesting as others, but it's crucial that you understand that spelling, it makes up the English language, which Trump just made our national language, Inglese. It's spelling. There's capital and lowercase letters because different words can be cast or spelled. Do you understand what I'm saying? In short, when you look at the word Tennessee, you see the capital T and you see a small t. T is the second letter, and you'll notice that the 2 is missing, but I'll explain that later. E is equal to 5, but in gematria code, it's also a 3. That's 33rd degree gematria. N is the 14th letter. Again, we have the E with the 3. S is the 19th letter, so it repeats 1919, and then EE 33 at the end. It's crucial that you look at this, you know, kind of like my favorite scene, like on Daddy Daycare, the little boy brings his dad the drawing and he tells him that it's abstract, and he tells him to squint his eyes and look at it just so. You don't really have to squint your eyes here, but what you do have to recognize is right here in the middle of the code, we have the word egg, E-G-G. It's also 319 because we have 3 at each end, 333, 319, and the 4 can take on the shape of a 9. It's also the code 314 equals pi. Let's look at it a little closer. When you focus in on the part that says egg, even in handwriting, you can see how the ESS abstractly looks like egg. Anyway, and when you calculate the numbers down here at this portion where I said it's 319, here in the middle, B-I-B-L-E, you just have to read it, you know, backwards and upside down. And it's like, I don't know what kind of writing, but it's why Prince did the backwards music on Darling Nikki or whatever it was. So this is the same kind of thing. You read it backwards and upside down. I'm not really sure what to call it. The fact that there is an egg at Paisley Park, the fact that he sang the song 319, the Bible, L-I-E, is what we're talking about here, and why the supercomputer is in Memphis, Tennessee. No coincidence at all that Elvis is also from Memphis.
Just like Elvis. Face down.
I can't explain it all. I won't pretend to be able to explain it all, but the reason I can come here and explain any of it is because it was explained to me during my clinical death in 2010. All of these things were shown to me during this death experience, and I was told I wouldn't remember them until 10 years later, which was the spring of 2020. Regarding this supercomputer in Tennessee and all the other lyrics, I can explain them all as he allows me, but this one in particular, it's hard for me to talk about. I smile, but it's hard to talk about because it has something to do with the electrocution of the creator's power in a way that would bring on a World War III and war type hellish nightmare situation. And I saw it in the life after. And so it has to do with the supercomputer. And if you think it sounds weird, don't let it. Go watch the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp, and they upload his consciousness, just like they did here in this situation, because they're using the essence and the power of the creator contractually. And there was to be a huge electrocution. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, there's 2 me's because this is an old picture. Because in the afterlife, I was shown that his powers have been used and harnessed and manipulated. He told me for I don't know how long. And as far as the computer in Tennessee, the power of the computer would put a certain energy into the world that would make the unseen, currently unseen energies in the world have more of a life form, more of a physical form in this physical place, as it became all very much more computerized, which is why Elon himself is so computerized and so very strange. It's all a show, but it's all for a reason. And what it is it's a Nazi, KKK, white supremacy plan. As I've mentioned before, Paisley Park was a self-made production studio prison, which is why it's in the middle of nowhere, where it could be controlled. The supercomputer, like the creator showed me in the afterlife, that in the background, like we're in this physical place, but in the background, in these other worlds that we can't always see, there's always these energies, if you will, and they feed off of our energy. And during this new world order awakening, everybody is to be more programmed, and whatever they're doing down in Tennessee is not something that we want to participate in, nor do we want to take the RFID chip, as is going to be a prerequisite. Elon himself has been talking about getting a microchip in your brain for how many years now? Just a moment ago, I mentioned that that 19 was a code. It was a code word, and that's for several reasons. Within the word 19, you can spell individually both 9 and 10. So it not only spells 19, it adds up to 19. Now also in the reverse writing here in the middle, if you write this upside down, what do you get as the Bible lie? The E's turn into 6's, and the T becomes a cross. Now, it's one of the reasons Prince was known to sing the song 1999. One of the reasons. The other one has to do with the T and the cross, because earlier when I addressed the word Tennessee, and I gave you all the equations for the 314 equals pi and the egg and the 1999 and the 319, I didn't address the T, because T is the 20th letter, so it's equal to 2. As a lowercase letter, the T becomes a cross, and that's really, really important, because the ET lie, the ET Bible lie, it's the NT, the New Testament, where they lie about Jesus, his power, who he was, how he's capable of saving you. That's the Nazi New Testament lie, and it's coded with the number 19. They're going to try to get you to become more computerized and convince you that the plan is biblical. And I also heard in the afterlife that, you know, the creator presented himself in the Prince image, but I also saw him in other images. He told me that he was going to be called in like an antichrist, ET antichrist, and that's why this New Testament version of selling Jesus, so they can blame him as the antichrist. Isn't that crazy? The 314 pi equation that I mentioned earlier spells pineal, because this whole plan that I'm talking about, this Nazi New Testament plan, it's like a brainwashing of our psyches somehow in this world. And as I mentioned in my other videos, the next cycle, brainwashing cycle, would be to tell us that we woke up on Mars after this Tennessee supercomputer electrocution situation. And if you still think I'm crazy, let me show you some more about the 314 equals pi pineal third eye equation. Check out the code in gematria for fam. If you have listened to Prince, you know that people referred to as Prince Fam and not Prince Fans. And fam in the gematria, F is the 6th, A is the 1st, M is the 13th. And in reverse, 6 is 9 and 314. It's 314 equals pi. So fam or mafia, these are the people, the Merovingian giants with the T at the end. You know what else codes out to 413 pi? Vampire, eternal soul, one that would seek blood or souls. The Merovingian bloodline they're represented in all the Matrix movies as the ones who desire everything fleshly, food, sex, money, everything fleshly in this physical world. This code is something that, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not pretending to be, I'm just trying to show you that there's no coincidences that this 413 equals pi code, it has to do with the name Prince as well as the name Pride. My birthday is 12/19/1970. So let's assume that the 13th Merovingian bloodline are vampiric souls and have some kind of ability to stay around. It's what I saw in the afterlife, otherwise I wouldn't have the courage to say it. The creator actually told me that I was able to live forever, that I was eternal, and the clinical death that I experienced wasn't an actual death as other people would have experienced, because my soul is attached to his and not the same as everybody else. Although that may sound grandiose, it is the truth, and I speak only the truth. And what I wanted to say is my birthday is December 19th, 1970. So you can have 319, or you can have 2 plus 7 and 2 19s in the middle, so it's 319, like that. Prince Rogers Nelson, born 6/7/1958. Add the 6 and the 7, you get 13. Bring down the 19. It becomes an ID. 5 plus 8 equals 13, which you also have in here. So it says 13, ID, 13. So the 13th Merovingian also says PIE. So the 314 equals pi.
That's just trying to get another piece of the purple pie, yeah.